everyone? I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Batman number 5. So if you guys have not had a chance to check out our previous comic book reviews on Absolute Batman issues 1 through 4, I would highly recommend you guys go and check out our previous comic book reviews on the other issues of Absolute Batman issues 1 through 4. That way you guys can understand how we felt about each different issue leading up to this one. And this one is going to be the conclusion of the first arc for Absolute Batman, titled The Zoo, So I'll ask you, Mr. Laps comic fan, how do you feel about the first issue with me being black? Just joking, guys. Obviously joking. But no, in all seriousness, how do you feel about, Absolute Batman ending on issue number 5? Yeah.
Well, I think the arc ended fine. I don't know why they ended. They're ending this arc called Zubin. They didn't really tie up anything. It's still going to continue, unless something else is coming in and they're going to name it something else, which is perfectly fine because everything is written for trades. That's just what they do. But I will say this: thank God Nick Dragotta was back for this art because man, that last book. As I thought that story in the last book was incredible.
It was really good.
The art just sucked.
They hired a person out of a sweatshop in the Philippines, and they paid him like 3 pennies a page to draw that bad. And I'm not saying that guy can't improve his art. I'm not thinking he shouldn't be on any more books in the mainstream.
No, I'm going to say he's not.
Trash.
He should never be on any books ever again. Like, you're at a major publisher, and that's what you drew.
Which is crazy. Is like DC or any of the editors in like all these fucking books that they have on thought they couldn't pay anyone a decent wage to just
like
over that person. It's insane.
You have all of these amazing artists. You know what I mean? Like, you're telling me that like Dan Mora couldn't have just been like,
Dan Mora on everything. They can just pay him extra to do that.
Give me a few, days, then here you go. It's not like it's not like it was action heavy to the point where you needed like these incredible panels. It was more story driven, and he draws emotion on characters so good that it could have used something. I don't know if Dragotta could have carried out the emotion. That was it. He would have done it better. But if they had like Dan Mora doing it, dude, that might have made it the best issue of the whole freaking 5 issues. But this issue, I say, is great.
I just don't get why they wasted that great issue on art like that, but that's just how Marvel and DC do it. They're just boneheaded retards. But going back to Absolute Batman number 5. So for me personally, this was let's say a nice kind of ending, continuational book going into the next arc. So at the time of us doing this comic book review for Absolute Batman number 5, Absolute Batman number 6 is dropping actually. So it's nice that we'll be able to, kind of continue on with the book now that we're all caught up. And this is kind of a thing I want for any kind of book we're doing for ongoing series. Next one we're going to be probably tackling after like the Hush stuff is Absolute Superman as well. But for at least Batman and Scott Snyder, I thought overall the first arc was fine. I thought it was pretty good. It kept me interested. Every time I opened up one of these Absolute Batman issues, I felt like I was going to get something new, but something unique and something exciting. For this issue personally, I feel like it ends off just kind of in the same spot that it began, which isn't really anything bad, but you kind of already know it's like, okay, this is going to continue, but it doesn't feel like it changed anything. It's just going to be the same shit.
I know what you're saying, but I differ in opinion. Because
really? I thought you agree with everything I say, and you absolve everything I say.
The way that it ended is basically Gotham is going to be in a free-for-all with chaos and anarchy because billions of dollars are up for grabs. And that is 100% a perfect time to insert the Joker because chaos is going to be reigning and blood will be spilling in Gotham.
Yeah. And then we also had other things in here that were great. I mean, obviously Nick Dragotta being back on the book and drawing it made it better. Other than that sweatshop artist they hired in the Philippines for 3 pennies a page. I thought that this double page spread as one of the ads looked honestly really, really good. This was great. I don't know. That was amazing. You had basically Bruce getting something to make a point out of it. The only last thing in the book that kind of confused me a little bit, maybe you can help me with it, was that analogy that Black Mask gave with like these pigs that he used to kind of kill and raise over the years.
This is what he's saying, and this won't ruin anything. Basically, he's saying the pig didn't know it was going to die, but when you succumb to death, there's this one thing that you can do and hit that spot. So the money is that ecstasy spot, but you're still probably going to die because the chaos is coming. The death is inevitable for what he is enacting next. That's basically what he's saying.
Also, this book did the thing that Justice League Unlimited did, where they give you, at the end of the book, when the story's over, when the first arc's finished, they give you this 2-page preview of Zatanna #1 for the DC All-In. I really don't know why they're charging people extra money, or at least $1 more or $2 more in some books, to have these 2-page extra previews for an upcoming book. I get it. Using the Batman book to kind of sell a lesser known character to some degree. Zatanna's like not exactly lesser known, but
they didn't charge me extra.
Oh no, just in theory, like I imagine, we'll just give you 2 pages extra and we'll charge them more. But I understand utilizing the Batman book to sell another character because they know people are going to read the Batman book. But it's like, do people actually read these 2-page extras and care, or are they just done afterwards?
I'm sure people read it just to see, but I doubt they care. The problem I have is this. They're now using Batman, like these popular books, to sell these non-popular main universe books. I would keep, if you're gonna do the Absolute Universe, you should be propping up the Absolute books. That's what it should be.
Which cover did you get? I got this one.
Mine are in bagged already. I'm reading. I downloaded. I have that one, but I also have another one.
The back images of Alfred right there and Black Mask look good.
Cool.
Look great.
Yes.
You know, there was
I had to buy it digitally today.
It's fine. You're good. You can send your digital money to me because you owe me child support payments for not taking care of me.
I mean, sure. How much money do you want?
$1.
That's it.
I can buy a stick of gum with that. Just kidding. So
that's
something. Dude, there was someone that said, "Oh, I just couldn't read the book," and I was like, "Why?" He says because they made Alfred look like Ra's al Ghul, and I'm like, this is an alternate universe. It's nothing main continuity. You get that line of freedom if it's not mainline continuity. That's kind of why they kind of do these things.
They made his mustache and beard look like Ra's al Ghul.
That's
but what does it matter? Oh, he looks like this character. Okay,
so now I must not read the book at all. And it's like, are you
I don't understand how that ruins the story.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, you have weird people like that where it's like, he looks like Ra's al Ghul, so I can't read the book. It's like, you're a baby. I don't usually say that, but you're an actual child. That is childish. It's actually just stupid. But overall, for the first arc, enjoyed it. It was paced very well. The dynamic between the flashbacks was really cool. The heartfelt moments he had with his dad were good. But going into this issue, it starts off with him at the doctor's because he had that incident in his life where the bats kind of bit him a little bit when, he was trapped in that room when his dad put him in there, obviously, to only end up dying to Joe Chill. And the imagery of this bat right there, I thought was pretty cool. And that last line he has, that should be the end of the bats, because throughout all the issues, he's just always inner monologuing to himself. And usually that can kind of go hit or miss. But I feel like every time he was inner monologuing throughout all the books, even this one was fine. It was more interesting. You kind of connected to the character a little bit more. You kind of got into his psyche a lot more, So then after that, you get this nice, cool 2-page spread, The Zoo, Part 5, and you guys know what happens in my life when I go to the zoos. Women tend to end up following me there, and they try to sleep with me all the time.
Oh.
No,
I thought
you don't
were
believe
going
me.
to say something else.
Oh, no. I was going to say what you thought I was going to say, but I would get banned off YouTube saying that. So we left off from issue number 4 with basically Black Mask offered Batman a certain amount of money to basically take it and stand down, basically stop being Batman. So then Batman, throughout that entire issue 4, was contemplating it and about what he could do with it and all the other things in his life that led him to end up being Batman. So then we get to this issue where you have him kind of circling around that area that he told him to meet back in issue 3 if he wanted to take the money. And then you have like Alfred kind of talking to himself about what he thinks Batman's going to do because he's kind of cornered in that aspect. And then goes to another part of the book where Gordon is talking to.
I like how the dude whose hand he cut off is there.
I noticed that too. Yeah, he's
just like kind of like
fucked.
I'm still here. Please don't cut off my other hand.
God, man. Then I'm pretty sure that's Bruce's mom.
Yes.
Where she is talking to Gordon about, running for mayor still. And the other aspect of it that I thought was, Gordon's like, hey, we can still end up doing something with a certain situation. He was kind of sad that another situation kind of ended up the way it did. But he basically said this whole memorial light thing is going to be canceled. This was kind of the anniversary day of that. And that Bruce is probably going to be very disappointed with that. But then that ties in later on. So after that,
he's all sad that Harvey Bullock is basically with Hill, with the ex-mayor Hill. He's on his side and he's like, I didn't see that one coming. And we got to tell Bruce that we're not lighting his dad's memorial. Fuck. I'm old. I'm too old for this shit. 3 days away from retirement and they pull me back in.
To Gordon too much. That's you inside eternally. You're a black white man.
Sure.
Gosh.
Call me Whitey.
So after that, like I mentioned earlier, before we started going through the book's content, this double page spread was amazing. I think that you use it all the time. I don't know who drew that, but it's art by Fico Othio. Great. Honestly, amazing. So then, as what these books do for the first arc, you've had these 5 issues where it just flashes from present, past, mid-present in its brain all over the place. But it's never like jumbled to the point where it's confusing. It's always pretty consistent in the line of the narrative they're trying to sell you throughout the book. So you get back to the past again. You're at his dad's funeral right here where Gordon tells Bruce, hey, that zoo where your dad died, we're going to be shutting it down for something more practical. Then it flashes back to the present again with Bruce basically kind of surrendering on this rooftop to meet Black Mass to get this money. And then Black Mass basically tells him, hey, you want the money and you have it. So anything you want with it is yours. You can have planes, cars, anything. And Bruce says, I already spent it all. Like, what'd you spend it on? He basically got all the money right there in a absolute Batman symbol and then lit it on fire in the sky. Very similar to like The Dark Knight Rises when Bruce came back and he lit that skyscraper on fire with the Batman symbol. Don't know how he got up there and did that, but nevertheless,
that's a kind of the big pile of money comes back to like the Long Halloween.
Yeah, right there. Awesome page right there. That was
it's cool.
Man, this was amazing right there. And the tension and the grittiness of this issue, the action was there again. Black Mask is like, that's one ugly bat. Because people, I guess that's a joke because no one really likes that symbol. I think it's still kind of chunky and ugly. But he orders all of his men to attack because the deal's off. And then Batman starts taking on all those thugs again. The one thug that hit the hand that he cut off.
That was that awesome. Guy got the dude. So the thug jumps on Batman's back, right? And if you remember from the first issue, whenever he does like the get the hell out of here thing and all the spikes come out of him, that dude like gets on his back and then Batman does that. All these spikes just go through that dude. And he is just please, sir, will you let me down? Please let me down.
That guy who had his hand cut off with Batman's axe in issue 1, he got so hard fucked. God, man, holy shit. This Batman is brutal. Like, he threw a bat knife into the end of guy's
end of his cape, right through this dude, right above his kneecap.
Oh, and then my goodness. And then the dialogue before that, where he says, see, Roman, I don't need cars or planes or computers. I don't need anything at all you have. I don't need anything you have. All I need is Batman. Just absolute cold line before he just starts wailing in on these party animals. And then the guy where the spikes of his bat suit went through, he says he's stuck, and obviously I would say Batman should have just killed him there because this Batman kills anyway. He wants him to get him. He wants him to get him.
Who does he killed?
Technically, oh god,
technically nobody. No. No,
It feels like these guys are dead.
Even Alfred makes the point of like he hits all these he hits vital spots, but
I'll say
misses just
he's very violent.
he is. They should have made him kill. They honestly should have, like, because
Yeah.
that would have made him so different. It would have brought back to like the 1940s Batman, who just used guns and used to
Mhm.
hang people from helicopters and parade them around New York City. It's great. It's a good time.
So then you have him talking about every single thing the party animals were doing, of like, you know, murder and all that stuff. And he says you don't care about how many people die, and then he just threw that one guy onto the ground. Oh my god, that guy's dead. He tossed that guy's fucking fried. Or if he's not dead,
he picks him up with the thing and just wham, smashes him down. And how ridiculous is it that they catch him in a net? They just they throw a net on him? What?
Yeah, you would think his spikes could just go through it, unless these are super powerful nets that we don't know about.
Right. They could be like some sort of, you know, nobody cuts my line type of nets.
Mm-hmm. So then after that, because it was set up earlier that there were snipers and other people with like shotguns on the roof, they start shooting at him more. The suit, you can tell it's not really taking that much damage, but then they said, hey, let's just kind of blow the nets on him. And then it kind of, but these nets kind of strain him down. Like they're not the usual nets, right there at the bottom.
They're definitely very hard strength nets. It's just the fact of being in a net.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so Ninja Turtles, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Saturday morning cartoon, you see these Ninja Turtles and they got swords and stuff. And what do? They run over to the wall and they chop a rope, and the chandelier falls down, and you're like, I can't get out. I don't ever actually use the actual weapon.
So then Batman gets close to Black Mask after getting caught. He grabs his pants right there, and that will be explained later on. But then after that, Black Mask just kind of, you know, breaks his arm a little bit.
Yeah.
Good Lord, man. Fucking hell. Then the lady that's following Black Mask, or one of his subordinates, whatever, grabs one of the bat knives out of his helmet, stabs him with it.
A bunch of times.
One henchman lights him up with a flamethrower.
That stupid little kid, who I hope gets kicked right in the face.
And then she grabs him in front of a
truck.
Later on, she grabs his axe and she whacks him over the head and just knocks him off a building as the, you know, money is burning behind them.
Yep.
Oh my god, man, he got just absolutely annihilated there.
So
now,
one of the
it's all worked for a reason later on, but that was
one of the big things that's happening through this whole thing is that he tells Black Mask, like, hey, it's over, because all of this stuff is being recorded and it's being sent to the news people right now. Black Mask is like, you actually think that matters? You think you're the hero in this story? No, the hero is money. And that goes into what Black Mask, his ultimate plan, that if Batman did not take the deal, if he reneged on it, what his actual plan was. And that ties into the end of the book.
Like, that was a cool little, like, 180 there before you figure out what Bruce did when he grabbed his pants. Like, he basically said, I don't really care what you just did because it doesn't matter. And to be fair, let's be completely honest here. Let's just say in real life, you want to apply this to real life. Sometimes it doesn't really matter what a hero does, because money will always just end up fucking over someone's brain when they get enough of it anyway.
Money... Homer Simpson said it the best. The cause and solution to all life's problems is money.
It's also the root of a lot of happiness too.
Yeah, it's money can make you very happy, but it could also make you, if I put it this, like, if you're not happy or can make the money that you have now work, unless you're like literally like $0 and homeless, then having a crap load of money is not going to be good for you. Trust me, I know.
Wait, what you said earlier, he even has that point where he's like, you're not even the main character. Yeah, okay. I'm not saying Scott Snyder wrote a bad book, but that feels very internet related, where young people say, like, you have main character syndrome. That's kind of what it's like to me.
Saying, but the reason why he's saying that is because he's trying to make the point of, he said that this is being broadcast, so people would look at Batman going, oh my god, he's standing up for us. And he's like, no, you're not. That's not what people are going to look at, because he hasn't said yet what Black Mask is going to do. Black Mask is going to offer all these people money, and that is the main character. because no matter what he did in that moment, he could have done the most heroic thing and saved 10 grandmas. It wouldn't have mattered, because what Black Mask is about to offer all these people is going to trump all that. That becomes the main character for the story. That's why
also
it was
in the next arc that I thought about when you were saying that was he could also show people, even though Bruce got the upper hand later on when we talk about that, which is if you show Batman getting beaten down that bad, people aren't going to think that he can save them. Anyway, it's a common thing amongst people, you know?
Right. But I think that's why he said you're not the main character here. I believe that's why that was written that way.
After that, he falls off the building, and then obviously there's a police manhunt for him, and then they kind of corner him, and then at one point, one of the ladies that could take him in, she doesn't, and she lets him escape right there.
That was Barbara.
Was that Barbara? Yeah, yeah. So Barbara basically just lets Bruce get away, and then after that, we get that thing that you said earlier about the whole pig situation, where Black Mask was basically saying what happened with, like,
he's telling everybody on TV, what his background is, what he did. He said he was like, he grew up on a pig farm and his job was to kill the pigs, and that he would stick this pin in the back of their skull. And there was there was one moment that he realized on this one pig that it gave the pig almost like an ecstasy feeling. Like it didn't even matter what he was doing at that point. No matter how hard he was fucking this pig, basically, the pig was happy. And that's where he gets into, and when they showed Gordon seeing this, his mom seeing this, basically what he's saying is all the stuff that Batman just did does not matter, because when it comes down to it, people are like pigs. No matter how hard you're sticking that in them, that moment of ecstasy, which is the money that he is offering Gotham, there's going to be all this money there. And they show basically like all the Black Mask people unloading all these things in the city, these giant boxes.
Yeah.
And basically he's going to offer a ton of money to people. And I think it's going to turn into like a battle royale.
He gave that speech of like, you guys just kind of slave away, making other people rich while they go off on like private jets and trips and all that stuff on your money. And then in the Batcave, basically Alfred leaves Bruce, basically saying he's like literally in over his head, pretty much.
He tells him he's an idiot and like you're stupid. You think you did something, but you actually just made it worse, because what's coming next is on you. This is all on you now.
Batman reveals that when he grabbed his pants, he did put a tracker on Black Mask so he could basically, you know, track him down if he needs to. Alfred ends up leaving, and then that pretty much, I think, wrapped it up.
No, this is what happens. So at the end of the book, Barbara and Jim and Bruce's mom see a bunch of the party animals putting this box down, and he's like, what the hell's that? And they open it up, and it's nothing but guns and masks.
Yep.
So basically Gotham is going to be one giant party animal sacrifice highway. It's going to turn into a giant battle royale.
Yeah, that's basically how issue 5 ends, with, you know, Black Mask dropping all of this loot and all this money, party animal masks, to basically show the average person could just be a party animal if you basically just don't want to slave away working for people. Which,
I think they're going to have to kill people to get money. That's what I think is going to happen. They're going to have to kill people to get this money. And it's going to be like, hey, instead of working and slaving away, why don't you just kill this person? You know, and you might make some money off of it.
Yeah, God.
And you can do it in all anonymity wise, because you're going to have these masks on.
This has been a ride. Let's say.
Yeah, something else is afoot, though. I'm wondering how much. I'm almost wondering this: if Bruce is the one who actually doesn't stop Black Mask, I'm wondering if maybe Joker comes in, and to show how much of a big bad Joker is, he just puts a stop to this whole Black Mask thing, just kills the shit out of him, and like, boom, that's done. You couldn't even stop Black Mask. How the hell are you going to stop me? Type of thing.
God, because the idea that in the next arc, we're going to have to deal with basically Gotham being some sort of like battle royale party animal zone where anyone could, who's tempted enough to do it. Yeah, that's wild. It's
going to bring out the worst. And we already know Gotham is the worst city in all of everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like it's basically giving every single person who has who has never crossed that line, a
Mhm.
reason to cross those lines.
Mhm.
And it's already there's already that many bad people that would do it without even being offered
Yeah.
the money.
Mhm.
Now there's people being offered money for it. So nobody is safe. Or
Oof.
will people pick? There's definitely going to be two different groups, like the people that do and the people that don't. We're going to see, how many people don't. And I'm wondering, we haven't heard from Bruce's friends from like in the present time for a little while. I wonder how they're going to be involved in this.
I
Does
also
that
want to.
bring out their bad sides? Like, because
Yeah.
Nigma, remember, he wants funding. He's got to want funding for the stuff that he does.
Yeah, we haven't gotten back to his friends in ever since issue 3.
Three or
His
something. Yeah, it
friends.
was like the one where it was in the past though. Like he was with
He was
Selena.
talking to
And they
all
were
his
at the
friends. Yeah.
movie theater.
Yeah. Or even
But
in
the
the
last
present
time
day,
I
we
think
haven't seen him. Yeah.
he talked to Nigma about the mask, and
Yes.
then he talked to Harvey.
Harvey said he almost got in trouble for giving him
Almost
the
got in
info.
trouble
Yeah.
giving him the information. So I think that's it. But we haven't heard from Waylon either for a while.
Yeah, you're
And
right. Yeah.
Ozzy. We haven't heard from
Mhm.
from Penguin, basically, for a little while.
Do you think in the next arc he's going to introduce a Robin character? Because I know he's mentioned that randomly on Twitter, like an absolute Robin. But I think that would be its own title, or maybe do you think it'd be introduced in here?
I don't know if I would want a Robin here for this. That's too soon. And no.
Okay.
Robin could be someone that does something that maybe starts from a vigilante that doesn't want the money, that still sees the good in Gotham. For there to be a Robin, if it's a kid, I can't buy it in the absolute universe. You know what I mean? Like, look how dangerous this place is. Unless it's some like street kid that's got nothing to lose and he's already a badass. But if he's like, if it was like an older teenager, that could work. But not teen. Could you see this Batman teaming up with a kid?
Oh, he wouldn't be a kid. He would be hopefully at least 20-ish years old.
That's what he is.
Yeah, you're right though. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't know what how
this feels like this Batman needs some help unless he has some grand plan to stop this.
I think his plan with the tracker thing, it seems like from what we're supposed to see here is like he made a very horrible decision. That's he made the valiant decision showing that he can't be bought with money. Nothing. He's above that. But in the end, how many lives are going to be lost? Because they showed whenever the deal was supposedly on, that was the reason why they showed him going through Gotham on the bikes, because they wouldn't do anything to him. They did not touch him. They did not mess with him. They just watched
honor
him
among
go by.
thieves, you would say. You know,
well,
Black
that's
Mask
what
might
the thing was.
Kill and torture with his henchmen, but at least he'll respect you when you're driving a bike.
Well, he said that they would bring down the killings. Remember, that's what.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. It just, I don't know, man.
No, you're fine. But I'll ask you your closing thoughts on the first arc. You enjoyed it?
I thought it was great.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. I really did. I thought this was a fresh take on the Batman character, and I enjoyed it. I liked the more brutal aspect of him, but I will say it's hard to judge after only 5 issues. So I can only judge what we've got. As a whole, I like what I've gotten so far, and I think Scott Snyder does a very, very good job writing the characters.
I would say basically after the first 2 arcs, we can kind of gauge if this is something that's going to be
something
good
that's going to
overall
work for a while or not. And that's
Yeah.
the sad thing, because here's the problem too. The other books like Wonder Woman or Super, they could phase out, right, and suck. But people love Batman so much. If this is working, how do they stop this comic?
They don't. Could you imagine 20 years from now when we're still doing this, there's going to be an absolute Batman omnibus? Covers the first 2 arcs.
Absolute Batman issue number 57.
God, by that point, I'll have like 5 kids, a Lamborghini, a hot wife blowing me every single day.
No, you'll still be in that. You'll still be right there. with that
Damn.
door.
Damn, crazy.
The
But
door to the abyss that we don't know what it does.
for me, I thought the first 5 issues were good. The first arc was fine, very solid. The pacing was very good. Dialogue was good. The action was fine. The only blunder, I think, on the first arc is just issue number 4 having that terrible artist they hired. Other than that,
the best
good.
writing in the whole freaking thing,
the actual best book in the entire first arc, and they wasted it on a Philippines artist they hired for 3 pennies a page.
I know, right?
So, yeah, overall, hey, Absolute Batman is definitely a current ongoing Batman series. I think you guys will really, really enjoy. If you're more into the Batman that you think should be more crazier and goes more off on criminals, I think you guys would really enjoy that. Because people always say, why can't he be more like Punisher? Even though he kind of already is in his brutal ways he beats people up. If you want that, start getting Absolute Batman. Now, you could wait for the trade. The trade is issues 1 through 5. That drops like later in the year after we release this review for you guys. If you get the first trade,
something like that.
If you get the first trade, I think you'll like it, but you will be behind on the second arc that's already ongoing. I would just say you have more than enough time to kind of read all the current issues and then read where it's currently going right now. But if you want to get it to trade, that's fine too, and I think you'll enjoy it in more of a collected edition as well. Yeah. Hopefully Scott Snyder can hire me to write Absolute Shazam. I can write that. I got some great writing skills.
We're putting you on Absolute Zatanna.
Shit. My Zatanna got some real fat boob. Good Lord. Give me Absolute Green Arrow, and he's black, and he dates white women. That'll
there
really
you go.
Him. Black Canary has to be white, and that's I don't care what content. She's always going to be white. I can appropriate white women with my BBC. But yeah, all jokes aside, otherwise, good, fine, awesome arc. Storytelling was just chef's kiss, I would say. I don't know how it would rank this later on as an arc, because then again, we've read a lot of floppies this year. This, I would just compile it all as one arc. Was just definitely worthwhile reading. Honestly, it's crazy over the top. This is some crazy over the top fucking book.
It definitely is. The only thing that I think is a drawback is I don't know in any of the books where this is leading to with. I don't know why.
You don't think it's staying
this
power
has anything to do with the original All-In special. The only thing that I know right now that it has to do with anything is that the universe was created, and here's what's in it. But like, as far as Booster Gold and Darkseid and everything,
yeah, I agree. We'll have to see how they're planning on, let's say, mapping out the things they've already started, because at one point these guys are going to cross over.
They have to.
And we know at some point, given how arcs will kind of flow with some of these characters, sales will dip, and they have to do something big to get people to buy the books again.
Well, that's the last ace in the hole. Besides bringing out legacy villains, that's the big ace in the hole.
Give me Absolute Green Lantern, and you can have Absolute Booster Gold.
Dude, I'll take Absolute Booster Gold if they get Jeff Johns back to write it.
God, yeah, he's too busy on Ghost Machine.
John's Booster Gold, that one that I bought the trade, that was fantastic. It was great. I loved it.
Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel. If you have not already, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we are going to be signing out, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye. Peace.